Sean here from BoredParacord. Today we are going to be doing the Rune stone, and this is a design that I saw first on JD's website, tying it all together, and we'll just be duplicating that today. Very easy to do in your hand. There's no buckles required for this. We're using a sliding knot for tightening the necklace. You can use this as you could put keys on this instead of having this long piece here. And you can also make this as wide as you want and as long as you want. But for this one, we're going to make it just like this because we only have so many fingers, and that gives us 4 rows. If you had more fingers, your fingers were longer, you could make this larger as well. So we'll set that off to the side. I have 6 feet of cord here. This is Caribbean blue, and like I said, there's 6 feet. We want to put our ends together like this, and then I want to slide one of these ends 1 foot down, which is about right there, and then pinch that right there. Slide the cord through your fingers to find the center point, and one of these cords is shorter, so you want the shorter one to be on your left side, which is this way. So I got the shorter cord is this one, and this is the longer one. Now on my middle finger, I'm just going to slide this loop around my middle finger so that's on the back side of my finger. And we have our left working end, and our long one here is the one that we do the weave. I'm going to take my ring off just so it's out of the way. Here we go. Now all this cord, the longer one, is going to do is just weave around your fingers, just like that. And we're going to do this 3 times. And then I'll show you how to tighten everything up. So the first thing you want to do is go over your ring finger, under your pinky and around, under your ring, over your middle, around your pointer, and just repeat this a few times. So what we're looking for is we are looking for 3 passes on your pinky, 4 on your ring finger, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, this would be 5. And the reason why this is only 3 is because you're only counting it as you go around, but this one you're counting for each finger, so, or I mean for each pass. So you actually will have 5 passes on this one. So you have 3 passes on this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's kind of a weird way to actually say it. Basically, if you get 3 passes down here on your pinky, that's all you want to do for this. And I'll show you why. So if you look at this one, this normally you would wear it like this, but the way that it's being made right now is like this. So basically this cord is going to weave back and forth and come out here, and that's what this cord is here. This one's also going to weave back and forth in here like this and come out this side, which is this cord here. So it's kind of upside down how it's being woven. But if you count these, you have 3 at the bottom and 2 at the top, and that's what we have, 2 and 3, and that's where we need to be. So I know that's a little confusing, but it's really super easy. I can show you again. It's literally you're just weaving this around your fingers until you have 3 at the bottom, and then you finish off at the top, just like that. It's that easy. Now what we want to do is we are going to, on each of these, you're going to take your long working end now. Yeah, let me get it down here. There we go. You're going to take your long working end, and it's going to pass through each of your fingers. So we're going to go under these guys. So just lift up and push that through. It doesn't have to be tight. And then you're going to pull your slack through on these 3. Pass it under. Pull it through. You don't want to pull too tight. And we'll pull the slack through these 3. And push it through. There we go. This is a really easy one to do for someone that's just beginning. And the last one here, If you wanted to hook up a fid to one of these, or to these ends here, that wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's really not necessary. Alright, so you can see this working end has just kind of woven itself through those loops. Now what we want to do with this one is do the same thing. And this first one's going to look funny because it's going the same way as this one. But once you do that, then it'll fix itself. So you're going to go, and you can take this off too after you get the first one through there. Slide this off, and then that gives you your loops to pass through. Makes it a lot easier for doing this part of it. Go there. And this shorter cord is the cord that you're going to want to pull all your slack through so that you have an even amount of cord on this compared to this end. So you want to work all of your slack through there, out the little cord here. So one way to do that is to start with your longest end and know that this is the starting point. So every time you pull, you want to pull from where the long end goes in at. So all your slack is going to go through that cord towards the little cord, and you're just doing a little at a time. This is the little bit more tedious part of it, but it's really not that bad. Kind of reminds me of doing a monkey's fist. And if you do a little at a time, you really can't mess this up. Pull this one up. So those are our long ones. Now we have to go side to side. See, we're getting a good amount of slack towards our little cord. There we go. And see, now our two ends, they're still not quite right. We're about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches different, so you just do it again. You start from your long cord here, and you just pull all the slack through that one towards the little cord. And now you can really kind of start to cinch this up. You don't want to cinch it right away because you'll end up with something that doesn't look very good. It's just all about doing a little at a time. There we go. And when you get to the end, you're going to want to grab a fid or a marlin spike or a tightening tool and use that to help you tighten everything. You're just going to want to keep doing this until it's nice and tight. See, we're going from that real big piece to something that looks like this. So we're getting there. I think I'm going to end up having more cord on this one now than the other one, which is fine. That is not a big deal. Where am I going here? Oh, there we go. Alright, so let me see where we're at here with our ends. Yeah, so now our short cord is actually pretty long, which is fine because we're going to use all that cord. They just needed to be at least that long. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything up on this, and I'll be back to show you how to finish it up with the sliding nuts. Okay, so I've gotten this nice and tight. The green one is a little bit smaller because there's a difference in cord, just a tiny bit. Not a huge difference, but I think this one's just a little bit stiffer, and that's why it looks a little bit different. That's okay. So we're going to do these sliding knots, and the way that we do these, and I can zoom out just a little bit here, you're going to take your two ends and kind of lay them on top of each other like this. Now your right end here is going to loop around, so under, and then it's going to cross back over itself like this. And you're going to do it one more time, and see how that created an X right here? These two cords right here created an X. you're going to take your working end and pass it under that X and out the other side to give you something like this. Now when you pull these tight, what will happen is you'll have an X on one side, and if you flip it over, you have an equal sign on the other side. So you should have something that looks like that. An X on one side, equal sign on the other. Or a plus and an equal sign. Either way you do it. And see, this now is able to move along that cord. Now we're going to do the same thing on this one. So you want to have your cord at the top. You're going to wrap around the other one. So you're going to go under it and then over everything like this. Go back under. And you have your X here. So you're going to go under all of that. And I think I might have done it too loose. Yep, I did a little too loose, so let me undo all that. And that's the beauty of Paracord, is that you can untie something if you mess up. Okay, so under everything, over everything. You might have to do it underneath. Let's see. And through. So yeah, you want to do 2 loops, tighten everything up. Just remember, if you do your first one on the outside, and then it crosses back over and around 2 times, and then you go through it the same way you started. So you're kind of working right to left. So you start on the right, create the first loop on the left, cross over itself towards the right, take your working end through the loops. And that will give you your X on one side and your equal sign on the other, just like that. So we have our 2 sliding knots. And what I would suggest is to leave a little bit. This might be a little long, so we'll cut the ends off here. What I would suggest is cutting those to about that length there. Don't forget to melt your end so it doesn't fray. Just like that. And that's why I use a smoothing tool, because it won't stick to the smoothing tool. So get that ready. And these little tails give you something to pull on so that you can tighten it or loosen it. Makes it a lot easier than cutting it all the way up at the knots. Go. Melt the end here. Nice little torch lighter. We call this our futuristic torch lighter. Use the smoothing tool. There you go. And that's pretty much it. So we've got one here and another one here. Basically the exact same thing with the sliding nuts, so you can tighten the necklace if you need to. You can loosen it. And like I said, you could make this into a keychain very easily. You could cut your ends off here and here, seal them, so all you have is this little piece here, and then you could put your key ring on the end of it like that. That would work as well, and it makes a nice little key fob. And like I said, if you had more fingers, you could make this as long as you wanted. If you had longer fingers, you can make it as wide. You could actually, with 4 fingers, we only used about this much of our hand, so you could actually make this twice as wide, but you'd only have 4 rows because you're limited on your fingers. But yeah, this is Caribbean blue. This is our sage. It's a new color that we just started carrying. That's really all you need. You don't need any tools really. It is kind of nice to have a fid, and the fid will help you get under each of these, and then you grab it and pull it tight. So when you're tightening towards the end of it, it helps to have something similar to this to get under there and pull it tight. And don't forget to check us out, BoredParacord.com, for all your supplies, and our Facebook group is Paracord, or it's facebook.com/groups/Paracord on. And now we're on TikTok too. I think we just had 1,000 followers today, so we might be doing some lives soon, so keep an eye out for that. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel here. And again, thanks for watching, and until next time, paracord on. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button to your left. There's other great videos all the time, and there's a few to the right side of the screen, and you can also buy Paracord at our site with the link at the bottom left. Thank you again for watching.